We're saying that. And our distinguished whip, Mr. Clyburn, talked about the three legs of the stool, the rescue package, the BIF, and now this bill being the infrastructure of our future. And, of course, our distinguished chair of the Ways and Means Committee, who held down the fort for such a long time.
Now, maximum monthly payments will be capped at $1,250. The payments will also be reduced as parents earn an amount of money over different thresholds. The old child tax credit plan was available to everyone, and having requirements would not be popular among progressive Democrats. But if Republicans supported the bill, then the lack of a progressive vote would not be important. There is a huge update on the $1,400 Ford stimulus check package. Lawmakers are making big progress this week. Democrats in Congress are set to complete negotiations and get President Biden's Build Back Better bill passed by the deadline. New budget plans have also been released.
Through our comprehensive and resilience partnership, which we announced last year, we're in a situation now that we've invested our cooperation to spur innovation while delivering concrete progress for our people. Promoting a secure 5G network, improving internet connectivity.
And now Democrats have set Memorial Day deadlines for reaching a deal with Joe Manchin on a slimmed-down budget reconciliation bill to provide more financial relief to Americans, raise taxes, fight climate change, and lower the cost of prescriptions. Senate Democratic sources say there are still negotiations over the budget reconciliation package. Some optimistic Democratic aides note that Chuck Schumer, Manchin are still working together to finally reach a deal. But there are some Democrats that are once again pushing back the target date for getting a deal done with Manchin. They now point to the start of August recess as the new deadline, arguing that gives them most of August to draft legislation and the month of September to pass on the floor. But passing major legislation in September of an election year is extremely difficult, and high inflation has been the main reason for Senator Manchin's opposition to the package. The nation's concerns about inflation have only grown in recent weeks. Pushing the deadline back shows that Democrats are refusing to publicly throw in the towel on the package. There are a few reasons for this, including the fact that the rules for preventing the GOP from filibustering the package expire at the end of the fiscal year, September 30th. Democrats think Memorial Day is a key date and holding out hope for an agreement by the end of the week. One Democrat told The Hill, that's the ideal and that's what we like. A deal is what we want to have. When asked about the chance of passing any kind of reconciliation package, Senator Duckworth said it's a 50-50 split right now, predicting that some constituents are going to ramp up pressure on senators to get something done. A group of 26 vulnerable House Democrats, led by Representative Lauren Underwood, warned Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi in a letter that if Congress doesn't pass a new round of health insurance subsidies through the budget reconciliation package, constituents will see their premiums go up right before the midterm election. The group stated, "We cannot afford to backslide on this process. Our constituents cannot afford to go back to paying upward of 20% or more of their household income on healthcare premiums." The New York governor has also announced multiple tax relief investments in the fiscal year 2023 budget. The enacted budget includes tax relief for the middle class, small businesses, and homeowners to provide more cash for working families across New York. Key budget victories included relief from state tax on motor fuel as New Yorkers face rising energy prices and accelerating the implementation of the middle class tax cut. The plan also creates a tax credit for small business crisis-related expenses and a homeowner tax rebate credit. To address the high cost of gasoline, which has surged in recent months, New York State will suspend a state sales tax on motor fuels and a separate motor fuel tax from June to December.
4 weeks ago, and I will not stop pushing until I see it. This is life or death, and Dr. Califf, it simply should not have taken this long. I'm going to keep pushing to get formula on shelves and to families and babies. I'm going to keep pushing to get answers for parents in Washington State like Mac, my constituent, about how they can get what they need. Because Mac did speak with his pediatrician weeks ago, and they could not even find a sample can. And let me be clear, just asking parents to call HHS is not an answer. Parents from the Tri-Cities where he is or anywhere else should not be trying to figure out this for themselves on Facebook. This is a national crisis. It involves international supply chains as well as nationwide distributors and retailers. It is unacceptable to leave families fending for themselves. Parents like Mac need one simple place to find information they need and get help. We need one clear coordinator managing this multifaceted problem and helping parents and hospitals and pediatricians and state officials and everyone get what they need to figure this out. This should have happened days. This should have happened months ago. This shortage should never have gotten so out of control. And understand, I am ready to work with you or anyone else to fix this, but I'm not going to stop pushing everyone I can. You, HHS, President Biden, Abbott, other formula manufacturers, to do everything you can to fix this as soon as possible and to make sure that this never happens again.
For a long time, but including last night, Mr. Neal quoting Daniel Webster and our responsibility to act. So for us, it's about not just about legislation, it's about values and the values that this legislation represents for the people. With that, I'm pleased to yield to the distinguished Majority Leader, Mr. Hoyer.
Thank you very much. Well, first of all, congratulations, Madam Speaker. This is an historic piece of legislation. You were its leader with, as you say, the vision of the President of the United States. This bill will speak for itself to millions and millions and millions and millions of Americans whose lives will be made more secure, more richer in the terms of quality of life, whose educational opportunities will be greater, and whose job opportunities will be greatly enhanced. And America's competitiveness in the world will be heightened for the 21st century. As the President said, this is a transformational piece of legislation. It's a big win for the people, for the average working men and women of America, for those who struggle every day and hope that somebody is on their side. Somebody is listening to their pain and their struggle and their challenge. This bill is an answer. This bill will make a difference in their lives. That's why this bill is so historic. Not for next year, the year after, but for decades to come. It will make America a better land, a land of greater opportunity, a land of the free, a land of the brave. I now yield to my distinguished colleague from South Carolina, who counted the votes precisely. Thank you, Jim Clyburn of South Carolina.
Thank you very much, Mr. Leader, Madam Speaker. And this